Let's talk about intuition. If you're anything like me, you are a spiritual person, and things like the law of attraction and manifestation have been powerful aspects of the way you play the game of life. And if you are also a coach, an entrepreneur, an expert, or a business owner, you know that there are secrets, literally the movie The Secret, telling us how to achieve massive success by using these universal superpowers. But I have to be super honest with you today. A lot of that theory is what burned me out and got me to the worst financial situation I had ever been in, and really just rock bottom, let's be honest, crying on the bathroom floor sort of situation. And so many business owners and coaches ask me about, how do I use my spirituality? How can I use intuition and what I know about, my human design or my cycle or my personality, Enneagram? Like, I love all of that stuff. And I've tried to blend it into my business in as many aspects as possible because I do believe that business is personal. I'm Hannah, I'm the CEO of Dream Life Consulting, where we help coaches and experts add 5 to 10 new high-ticket clients every single month using our systems for client acquisition, sales, and scaling. And I know part of the reason why I've been so successful is because I do lead with my heart and I wear my personality and my feelings on my sleeve. But I've learned a lot over the nearly decade that I've been doing this work in the coaching space when it comes to leveraging intuition, law of attraction, spirituality, manifestation, and actually scaling a real business. And it's been a lot of trial and error. And so I'm really just documenting this to remind my future self, have a conversation with my higher self, if you will, about the things that have actually helped me win. Because I didn't start making real money until after I had that rock bottom moment. And I don't want you to have to go through that same pain, because the old way of doing things is the hustle bro culture, right? And I think we all know that that is dead. We can't just hustle, work, nose to the grindstone until we die anymore, right? Consciousness is rising. The future is feminine energy, right? There is this whole new uprising in self-awareness and consciousness that has taught us that working harder is not the solution. We do want to think about working smarter. So in 2017, I was a struggling life coach, and I did hustle my way to 6 figures. And if you've seen some of my other videos, you might remember me just like working in my shitty apartment in San Francisco, not even doing my laundry, and truly just sacrificing everything for success. And that is when I was introduced to success principles and The Secret and manifestation and the law of attraction. And I used those principles to help me manifest a position in a 7-figure coaching position. I did my whole, write your letter to the universe, put your order in, ask for exactly what you want. And that ask ended up being given in the form of, being the head success coach inside of a 7-figure company. I had 80 coaching clients. I understood, what it took to maintain this multi-7-figure company, from the sales and lead gen department as well as the client success department. But it was built on that hustle bro mindset. I was the only woman in the company for a while. We had female clients, of course. But I knew, my intuition at that time was telling me there's got to be a better way. You can't just keep grinding and doing this endlessly, especially working for someone else, because I am an entrepreneur at heart. And so when I left that company in 2020, I let my pendulum swing to the opposite direction, what I now call my siesta girl era, where I was so burnt out by the bro marketing hustle culture, not taking care of myself, having adrenal fatigue, that I said, all right, that manifestation thing, it has worked. It helped me get that role. It helped me overcome other things in my personal life. And so I went down a journey of asking questions around, well, what if I let intuition just lead everything? What if I rely on my feminine energy and just let whatever comes? And I did that for a little bit, and it was fine for my, mental health, but I wasn't really getting any clients, right? So I left that company and I was out on my own, and I realized I needed some support. And there's actually a woman who pitched to be on my podcast, Dream Life is Real Life. And she came and she was a guest and she was talking all about feminine energy, law of attraction, letting everything be easy in your business. And I bought it. And I thought, yeah, right. Okay, someone else who thinks what I think. And so I invested $25K in this feel-good mastermind. And when I got on the inside, I realized it was all fluff. And the whole premise was that if you feel good, you will do good. And if you do good, you will get results. And you just have to keep focusing on feeling good. And I took that seriously, okay? I'm a type A person. I want to achieve things. I like following the instructions. My background is in academia, so give me a checklist and I'm gonna do my homework. And so I wanted to be the best at feeling good. And so because this mastermind taught me that much, but didn't give me any strategy, I thought, okay, I just need a personal one-on-one coach. So I invested another $20K in having someone help me feel good day to day. Energy, mindset, those sort of those woo-woo aspects. And the cycle that I now recognize, of course, it's hard to identify it when you're on the hamster wheel. But what I realized is that I wasn't getting any results. I didn't have consistent clients. I was manifesting referrals. And every couple of months, a friend would say, hey, I sent this person your podcast, they're interested in working with you. And I was doing this weird, trying to people please on sales calls because they were all referrals. And then I was bending over backwards to try to keep them happy and make them feel good, and trying to convince myself, okay, if we all just feel good, if we all just have enough delusion that, the next client is always coming or money is always on its way. Okay, all right, I just had to do all of this work. Okay, let's remember, intuition does require work. Even to feel good, there was work associated with that. And so what I would do is I would realize, okay, I'm not getting any results. So then I would go to the people who agreed with me, who made me feel good, and said, hey, Hannah, take a break. Maybe you shouldn't push so hard. Maybe you just need a vacation. Maybe you should just meditate harder. Maybe you should just, journal, feel into your body, listen to what comes to you. What do you download when you're on the beach? And so I kept doing that. And I said, okay, I just have to meditate harder. Okay, I just have to listen better. Okay, I just have to, just keep believing these beliefs. And so this spiral, no results. Then I would invest a bunch of money to get around people who made me feel good. And then I would still not get results. And then I would do more things that would make me feel good. You guys, I was so far down this path that I was feng shuiing my house and having multiple hypnosis naps a day. Because if I just do more of this, again, where was the strategy? There was no strategy. And I got incredibly burnt out. Even though I was going on vacations, going to the beach, meditating, taking great care of myself, feeling good, but I didn't have results. And so that didn't actually feel good. There was a background noise of stress all of the time, not knowing, where is my next client coming from? Am I doing good enough? Is this aligned with the universe, or am I a terrible child of God? Existential crisis. It would hit every few weeks where I would ask those kinds of questions am I on the right path? Okay, did intuition actually lead me here? Or am I just listening to who I now call siesta girls, right? And so this whole idea that you just have to become better at being a human only gets me so far. Yes, I had referrals, and I was lucky enough to have enough business acumen and reputation in the industry that I was able to maintain a six-figure business. But I also took the bad advice that if you don't like doing it, you just shouldn't do it. And so I ended up delegating a lot of things in my business that didn't make me feel good. I don't want to do it. Let me hire a copywriter. Let me hire a VA. Let me hire an ads manager. Let me hire all of these people, because I do feel good as a leader. That is something that's true for me. Let me hire all of these people, have a team, delegate, and go sit in my zone of genius, or take those 2 naps a day. And that is what ultimately led me to the worst financial situation I have ever been in, because I had invested in these big mentors, and I took their delegating advice to grow my business, and cash flow could not maintain those investments that I followed my intuition on, right? The reality, in a past mentor from years ago told me that you have to connect your dream life car to your real life car. I am someone who wants to live in the visionary space and just rely on hopium to help me manifest, and things are always gonna work out for me. Even my dad says, Hannah, you jump and then you look. Yeah, okay, my dream car, I've got these visions, I've got these goals, I wanna make things happen, and I've always just trusted that God or the universe is gonna eventually catch up. But in 2022 and 2023, that dream life train car of my personal finances was on fire. In a bad way, right? Burning to the ground. And so here I was again at burnout, and I had believed in the, just listen to your body. Just follow divine inspiration. Just take a break and see what comes through, right? This whole trust the divine timing thing, I did for almost 1.5 years, and nothing ever came up of it. And at that point, I was like, okay, there again has got to be a better way. And I was able to make this distinction between the hustle bro that burned me out, and then where I had swung too far over into the siesta girl era that also burnt me out. And so I was at this place where I was literally crying on my bathroom floor because I felt like nothing was gonna work for me. I can't do it like a hustle bro, and doing it like a siesta girl isn't working either. So what am I going to do? Right? And this is where money mindset books started to come in. And I thought, okay, maybe it's not a business thing. Maybe it's just this money mindset. Maybe I just need a better relationship with money, and then money will want to find me. And all of these books that I found were act as if, go give away your money, and that will make the universe want to bring you more. Okay, but I had no money to give away. So that's a great queen energy mindset. But I started looking at these spiritual lessons as they related to business and just couldn't believe them anymore. And so just like I had feng shuied my house to make the energy flow better, I started looking at my closet of beliefs, the things that were hanging in my brain that, some of them told me everything gets to be easy, thanks to Abraham Hicks. Some of them told me business takes grit. And those were very, I didn't know which to put on because I hadn't had results in so long. And again, I was afraid of the burning out in either direction. And so it was actually maybe, magical, but also cold outreach that had my now business partner, Ore, come into my life. And this was in a season where I knew I can't just keep doing the same thing. I was interviewing a bunch of mentors. I was reading those money mindset books. I was just trying to ask myself new questions, trying to be open to other ideas because the beliefs in my closet were no longer serving me. And so I said yes to this guy, Ore, when he, reached out and had some ideas of how we could work together. I hemmed and hawed, and I took 24 hours to think about, collaborating with him. And I did ask my intuition. And this was one of those things that I just had no feedback from my intuition on. And look, you guys, I work with spiritual people too. And I've been on sales calls where people literally pull out pendulums to help them make their decision. Or they pull a card, or they do some magical, let me put paper on the floor and see what answer comes to me. And I thought about doing some of those things because I wanted to know what is a yes, what is a no, this intuition thing I believe in, but I hadn't figured out how to actually apply it to business for getting results. And so I said, you know what, this is one of those times I need my right brain to just step in and say, this makes sense. It makes sense, okay? We're talking about profitability. We're talking about change. Everything I've done up until this point doesn't work, so here we go. So when Ore came into my life, a lot of things changed. And he helped me realize that I had been down that cycle of honestly toxic advice, and I was deep into delusion, about how the world works, right? My dream life car had gone off way too far. I believed that, money is always coming to me when I was actually sitting on $75K of credit card debt. And he said, Hannah, this is not about just patching up your money mindset or changing the way that you delegate or raising your prices, which I thought it was when he came. I thought, okay, you're just gonna patch on, some ads and some visibility to this boat, this sailboat business that I have. And he said, Hannah, you've got to get off of this sinking sailboat. I see a cruise ship for you. I see an entirely new way of you running your business and showing up, but it's going to take eliminating all those beliefs in your closet and starting with new eyes, having a beginner's mindset. And that was incredibly difficult for me. And I literally fought and kicked and screamed about letting go of the beliefs that I felt were serving me. Because it feels good to say everything always gets to be easy. My next client is already on its way. More money is always coming. That feels good. But we know that growth does not happen in our comfort zone. And here's the big lesson. Write this down. Your intuition is never gonna say, go grow. Go do something hard. Go stretch yourself outside of your comfort zone. Your intuition is designed to help you feel good because you are asking your caterpillar intuition to make decisions about how a butterfly would ask their intuition. And this isn't your fault. You just only know what you know, and your intuition and your higher self is operating based on who you are today. And that is a caterpillar. But to become a butterfly, we don't know what a butterfly's intuition would say because we aren't there yet. You have to go into a cocoon. And that's this whole metamorphosis, and the transformation and the metaphor that we use, and why it's fine that intuition maybe got you to a certain point. But when you're looking to transform and get different results, your intuition isn't going to know that answer. And I remember having one of my last conversations with my energy coach, and I said, I'm really having a hard time grappling with the fact that I want to grow. I want results. I want a 7-figure business. And all these beliefs telling me I shouldn't. I should just be happy with what I have. And it should all be easy. And if it doesn't just land in my lap, then it's not meant for me. I knew I was meant for something more. And I also realized that takes growth and stretching and change and leaving your comfort zone. And I again remembered one of my first mentors from 10 years ago talking about when we make a decision to grow. It's like right now we're sitting in our comfort zone and we can, lay on the grass of intuition and just decide, does my gut tell me to get up and have a lemonade right now? Fine, you're in your comfort zone. Listen to that intuition. But I had laid in that grass for long enough and gotten bored. You don't actually just want to sit on the beach and eat chips all day. I learned that, okay? So I'm laying there in my comfort zone and I'm seeing things that are possible. And so I get up, this is a metaphor, right? I get up and I start walking towards that growth. And I start saying, yeah, I do think I need to make some changes. But then you realize that your comfort zone has this wall, protective wall with a bunch of guards on your wall. And this is still your internal dialogue. I don't know if you want to call this intuition or just how the brain works. It's that you want to grow, and then all of those guards start yelling at you. And they say, no, Hannah, you wanted to sit on the beach. You love potato chips. Lay down. We'll bring you a lemonade. Get comfy. Find your favorite chair. Just go back. And that's what the spiritual community was doing. They were guarding me in my comfort zone and celebrating naps and celebrating being soft and celebrating just letting anything happen. But when I got sick of that because I was broke and I didn't really have any other option, and I had to pull myself up off of that grass, off of that bathroom floor, and decide to grow, my intuition was not telling me this was the right decision. My intuition was not saying, yay, sweetie, you feel so good. It was saying, whoa, 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 you don't want to change? Come on, it's scary out there. You don't know what's going to go on out there. But that is exactly where the magic happens. And so I had to realize that those voices were just like the beliefs in my closet. And I could choose to listen to some of them that told me, lay down, lay back down, take a nap. Or I could know the truth about growth. It's uncomfortable. Just like when you're growing up and your shoes don't fit any longer. That's how I felt about these old beliefs. So Ori came into the business and he ended up becoming my business partner. Well, fast forward about a year of me kicking and screaming. And so Ori becomes my business partner. And I had to reevaluate a lot of the beliefs that I had. And I realized that the next level required a new relationship with my spirituality. And he lovingly helped me realize that I had been a caterpillar, right? Just like this little coach with a lot of things going on and shiny objects and keeping all my tendrils out there. And so we went into a cocoon of deciding we are going to transform. And I was able to use metaphors like, okay, now I'm going to become a butterfly. And butterflies literally move through the world differently than caterpillars. And so this is where identity work and getting out ahead of my beliefs and literally choosing what I believed became essential. And one of the sticky things was this queen energy idea that I got from the spiritual feminine energy world. And I had been working and reading books about queen energy and what it means to, be a fully embodied woman. And I started again looking at those texts and realizing, queens in history, actually my husband highlighted this because he's a history buff. He's like, queens are not usually that nice of people. And also they manage a lot of shit. Queens are massive leaders, like they lead countries. Hannah, do you really think they're just napping 3 times a day? And I was like, right. So I realized queens actually have hella responsibility and they show up with grit and grace even when they want to nap, I'm sure. And so all of this sifting and sorting was really about letting go of the good to make room for the great. And my intuition did have to take a back seat because I couldn't just rely on what's gonna make me feel good or what does my gut say, because I realized my gut is going to keep me stagnant. It's always gonna say, go get comfy. And I didn't want to stay there. So I started showing up like a butterfly. I started showing up with new eyes, and I realized I needed to let go and literally fire all of those voices who were celebrating me for playing small and start pulling myself up towards a new version of what a queen is actually like. And this is when I up-leveled my feed and I started, unsubscribing from certain things and subscribing to different people and journaling pretty ruthlessly, just selling myself on me, because there is a powerful voice inside of me. I don't know if it's intuition or if it's just that inner knowing that I'm here with gifts and these gifts need to get out of me somehow. And the only way I know how to get them into the world is through action. Action brings clarity. Action brings results. And I started to take structure more seriously. I got back into a routine because the siesta girl thing was literally just like, go with the flow. And I realized that had kept me just in that existential crisis, right? Like the humming in the background was always, is this gonna work? What are you gonna do? What if you fall on your face? Are you an idiot? Like, that humming background. And I went to work at building a humming business, building something that could support me and be running in the background so that I had a base of abundance to then go dream off of, to then go ask, do I want to wear purple or red today? And having a base of abundance was the missing piece for me in every other type of business that I've ever had, because it either relied on my own hustle and grit or manifesting minutia. Okay. And so I went to work and I took actions and I started showing up for a routine that said, I'm going to show up every day and build a base of abundance, which in a coaching business is a client acquisition system. If you don't know where your next client is coming from, it's very hard to know what to listen to because you are always just in that minutia of spinning your wheels and trying to trust things. And maybe this is a sign from the universe. And maybe this, if that worked for her, it'll work for me. You just got to build the house. And I think about that metaphor too. It's like, okay, I wanted this, I had this dream, or I had these lofty ambitions of living in my dream house or my dream business, but I never went to work at figuring out how to build put up the 2x4s and put things together that I could then have the base of abundance to give myself that queen energy or that place of visionary. We all just want to skip the hard work. But for people who want to be in this business long term, there's grit, there's building houses, there's blood, sweat, and hammering and tears. And figuring out how to build something did not come from my intuition. Guys, I tried for 1.5 years. I'm in Mexico. It's magical. I went to the beach. I prayed. I journaled. I manifested. But a client acquisition system never got downloaded from the divine into me. I had to take action. I had to work with Ore. I had to build something with my hands. And that is what brings us here today. And my ability to say, I recognize you and your desire to have things feel good. And especially as women, we need flow, but we also need security in order to do that. We need something that grounds us to know that we're not just like floating all of the time, but we're actually making decisions with our dream life and our real life car connected. So now on the other side of that hard work, let's be honest, it wasn't all easy, but now it gets to be easy. Because on the other side of that hard work, I'm out of my referral market and all of those weird people-pleasing conversations of like, okay, I had this referral, I need them to close, or just relying on some other company to send me, big contracts that then put me in a position of people-pleasing, and how do I just keep everyone feeling good, right? That was spinning my wheels. So I'm able to get out of that because yes, I have the system, but I also have the confidence that I know how to enroll people who aren't just here because they like me, but because I actually solve their problems. And I've done the hard work of putting a program together that's actually going to give them results. And so few people in the coaching industry are taking the time to do that. Actually think about, how do we get results? I had to do it for myself, and because no one else was doing it, now I'm the person out here selling it or giving it to other people. But it feels so much better than just trying to woo people into believing that, oh, if you just feel good, if you just believe in this process, if you just become a better magnetic match to the vibrations, this is all gonna work for you. No, I'm able to make this logical for the right brain as well, because that is what I needed. I'm out of the referral market, which also for us means that we consistently have 3 to 10 new high ticket clients every single month. Now, that's a great thing. That's that base of abundance. My intuition loves that, right? But it didn't lead me to that. And do we see the distinction here? We can't be misusing our intuition as a crutch to just keep us comfy. And I'm making real money. Okay, 57K in 15 days, 76K in 16 days, consistent 40K cash collected, and the compound effect of sales is continuing to snowball, which means that I have a humming business in the background instead of humming anxiety in the background. And it is true. Money can solve a lot of your problems, especially if you are stuck in the manifesting, when is this gonna work out for me space, going and getting results and building something that you can do consistently is the best way that I know out of that place of wondering, when is this gonna work for me? Is there something wrong with me? No, you just haven't figured out how to build a client acquisition system. And for coaches, this is good news. This is good news. It's not about you. You have done nothing wrong. Yes, you are special, but every business needs a model for acquiring clients. And if you haven't found that yet, then go watch our CEO video where I walk you through the entire system that we've developed and continues to help the dozens of coaches that we partner with see the same kind of 50K months. Not by being a hustle bro, not by relying on the law of attraction, but just by building what works in business. You need people learning about you every single day. You need to educate and nurture those people. You need to be making offers. It's not rocket science, but I had overcomplicated it and made it into some big spiritual journey that I just never needed to. So I'm hoping this video is saving you from any of that if you have been experiencing any of that, and just know there's a simple way out. Action brings clarity. Build a client acquisition system so you're not stuck in that same place. I always tell clients, you want new problems. And if you've been sitting on the same old problem, where's my next client coming from? Or why doesn't this work for me? Or am I good enough? I wish new problems for you, because that means you're getting unstuck. And that might mean that you leave that comfort zone and you start hearing voices that you could confuse for your intuition that tell you, no, stay safe, stay in your grass, don't go do it. but that's fear. And you have to understand that you are going to experience intuitive moments and fear moments, but you have to keep taking action and you have to keep thinking about getting results if you want to stay a coach. Otherwise, you'll burn out. And I'm grateful that Ore came into my life and I have enough chutzpah and the right kind of delusion that kept me on this path. But so many coaches go play small. They lower their prices. They go work for someone else. They just rely on whatever comes, and they never actually fulfill their potential. They don't become a thought leader. They don't become a world changer. They don't actually transform lives. They just stay busy spinning their wheels. And this is the mission that I'm on. And I know too many coaches are lost in the intuition dilemma. And so I'm just sharing my personal experience in that, yes, we have intuition. And I have a relationship with spirituality and money. But when it comes to business, I had to start showing up differently and build new beliefs that were actually going to get me results. And they didn't just come out of divine journaling. They came out of taking action and actually connecting the dots. Success leaves clues. And being honest enough with myself that just feeling good did not bring the results that I want. What does is having a base of abundance, a real system for client acquisition that I then get to pour my genius into. Then I then know if I feel inspired, and I do get hits of oh my gosh, you should tell this story when I'm riding my bike or taking a shower, right? Those intuitive thoughts still come, but now I know where to put them. They fit into my system. And we can talk about content creation and we can talk about how to make the system hum. But the big distinction that I'm hoping you're taking from this video is that your intuition is not going to solve your business problems. Action will. And you can gamify action and you can find ways to make action feel light and inspiring and fun. I feel like that is my full-time job right now, is just gamifying work. It is a game and life is going to keep giving you projects. What if you got out ahead of it and you said, hey, this is the place that I want my problems to be inside of. This is the place where I want my intuition and my inspiration to flow into a real business, not just floating around on my yoga mat and wondering, if I post this, will it make me money? Just have a business that you know makes you money and then use your intuition to sprinkle sparkle on top of it. That's how I'm looking at it now. So I embraced that year of, a cocoon or a grad school year of doing the hard work. And now that I've done that, on the other side, I'm making more money than I ever have. I'm taking one nap per day. I'm embracing structure because I know it affords freedom. Waking up every day and knowing I have sales calls, I have new clients starting, I know when I'm going to work out, feels so much better and actually gives me more time in the day to have those moments of inspired flow or listening to something that's going to inspire me to show up a certain way or create something for my clients. But it's not just waiting for it all to happen. Structure affords freedom is one of the new beliefs in my CEO closet. And the best part about all of this is that I'm not so focused in my inner turmoil. I'm not so hard on myself. I look back on my journals from 2022 and I was just manifesting money, me. Here's what I need. Here's what's gonna make me feel good. And now my journal is about the global impact that we're making and the way that if I keep showing up consistently and pouring into our clients and they pour into their clients the same way, then we create a real ripple effect of real change in the world, way more outside of me just getting to the beach more often. And that purpose, especially in a coaching business, fuels everything in an upward spiral. Whereas waiting for intuition to hit put me in that downward spiral of no results, invest in more fluffy masterminds, no results, invest in more fluff. Now I get results for myself, then I get results for clients, and then clients inspire me to get more results for myself and pour into marketing more. And then I pour into marketing more so I can pour into them more. And it's health coaches see this too. It's if you've been going a long time without a client and just wondering and, doing things for yourself, it is so much less inspiring. I was talking to a health coach I worked with 5 years ago, and she came back because she had just gone through her own health issues over the last few years, and she wants to reignite her business. And she's like, Hannah, I don't know if I have the spark anymore because I haven't worked with people in so long. I've just been focused on my own healing. And I was able to share with her, been there, when I thought I just needed to go on some, sabbatical, or I did take a year off of social media, right? Just heal myself. I was so uninspired. But now, because of this structure that we've built and the fact that I get to show up to new clients, new sales, new problems, it inspires me to share this with you all. So this video got inspired because enough clients asked me about it this week on the group call. And I was like, right, that's how I get my inspiration for the next video. It's not waiting for it to come to me. It's part of a system. And coaches love this because you care about purpose and impact. And if you can look at your business like it's fueling your purpose, then get into action, coach some people. I don't care if you don't charge high ticket, just to get your mojo back. Focus on serving others and watch how then you get inspired to focus on your business again, simply because you know more people need to know about this, not because your intuition suddenly struck with some idea for you to create an omnipresence in 2025. That's just not the way my intuition works. And that's why I'm sharing this video with you, because I do have a very spiritual life and I have a very strategic business. And I feel like I've finally cracked the code on bringing them together. But I didn't do it because my intuition told me to. I did it because I knew I needed to. So action brings clarity. Listen to the clues that success is leaving to you, and trust that the voices in your head are going to get way more clear when you're on purpose and taking action and listening to both the dream life and the real life. Because that's what we're all about, making your dream life your real life. Cheers to growth. And again, if you want the system that helps us get those clients, go ahead and click our CEO video and see what makes sense for you.